We talk so much about what narcissists love, right? They love attention, they love praise and admiration. They also love control. That part most people already get. But what almost no one talks about is what narcissists secretly hate. And I mean, really hate. The things they bury deep down, the things they do not even want to admit to themselves. The things that gnaw away at them late at night when no one is around to impress. And once you see these hatreds for what they are, something changes in you. You stop blaming yourself for their moods. You stop personalizing their attacks. And most importantly, you stop dimming your light to protect their ego. Why? Because when you really get it, you see the truth. What is that? Narcissists are some of the most miserable beings alive. And every one of these secret hatreds is proof of that. So let's get into it. I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. The topic for today's episode is 5 things narcissists secretly hate. Before I get into number 1, I want to talk to you about something. Were you a part of my free workshop? If yes, let me know what your experience has been in the comments below. And if you were not able to join, you still can by watching the replay of last 2 chapters. In the last chapter, I'm going to cover something really important that will give you a lot of clarity about thriving after narcissistic abuse. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description of the episode. I will see you on the other side. Number 1, they secretly hate the endless chase for novelty. At first, the narcissist thinks the world is their playground. Everything is fresh, exciting, and full of possibilities. They thrive on the thrill of the new. A new partner, a new friend, a new toy, a new hobby, a new look, and a new opportunity. But this is not genuine joy, it is a drug. They are running from something, from the unbearable hollowness inside. Every time a new person or experience gives them that initial dopamine rush, that dopamine hit, they feel alive, but it never lasts. Because after a while, the shine wears off. The person becomes too familiar, too boring. The job becomes routine. The hobby becomes boring. And they are left facing the same emptiness all over again. So, what do? Naturally, they chase the next high, the next, and the next, and the next. But here is what they do not tell you. This cycle eventually turns into pure torment because the older they get, the harder it becomes to get the same rush. People start seeing through them faster. New hobbies do not satisfy like they used to. Their looks fade, their charisma wears thin, and their options dwindle. And just like the king in that old story whose blessing turned into a curse, where everything he touched turned into gold and he could no longer eat, love, or feel. The narcissist eventually finds themselves trapped in a life of constant dissatisfaction, constant emptiness, and they hate it. They hate that they cannot just be. They hate that they cannot sit still and feel whole. They hate that no matter how fast they run, the emptiness is always one step behind them. They are prisoners of their own addiction to novelty, and they know it deep down. Number 2, they secretly hate happy people. This one is huge. If you have ever been close to a narcissist, which I know you have been, you have probably felt this, even if you could not explain it at the time. You have a good day, right? You accomplish something really huge, something you're proud of. You laugh with friends, you glow with happiness, and suddenly the narcissist goes cold, or they start criticizing you, or they start some drama to ruin your mood. And you wonder, did I do something wrong? Did I say something horrible? Did I trigger them somehow? Should I tone it down? Should I shut myself down? No, you should not. What you are witnessing is their secret hatred of happy people, of joyful people. See, narcissists live in a state of inner misery. They're miserable people, like I said. Their so called joy is performative. Their smiles are fake. Relationships are hollow. And their victories, what are they? Shallow. Deep down, they're haunted by shame, envy, and a sense of worthlessness. So, when someone comes along radiating genuine happiness, what does it do to them? It burns them. Your joy is a mirror that reflects their inner darkness. Your laughter reminds them of what they cannot truly feel. Your light exposes their shadows. So they attack, sometimes directly, other times subtly. A backhanded comment here, a dismissive tone there, a sudden withdrawal of affection, anything to bring you down. Because in their world, light must be extinguished. They cannot allow it to exist around them. Why? Because your happiness is existentially threatening to them. It makes their false self feel fragile. It reminds them of everything they lack. And that triggers the deep, unhealed wounds they spend their lives trying to avoid. That's why being around a narcissist so often feels like walking on eggshells. You learn, sometimes unconsciously, to dim your light, to make yourself smaller, right? To suppress your joy so they won't be triggered. But that is not your responsibility. And the more you understand this dynamic, the more you will realize that hatred of your happiness is about them. It's not about you. Number three, they secretly hate that they cannot truly defeat you. Narcissists are obsessed with control. That is what all their games, manipulations, love bombing, devaluation, discard cycles are all about, right? It's about power. They want to break you. They want to shape your reality, alter it. They want to make you question your worth, instincts, and your sense of self. But they fail at doing so. For a while, they may succeed. Many survivors of narcissistic relationships go through the periods where they feel shattered, lost, broken, confused, and traumatized. But here's the thing that drives narcissists absolutely insane: they cannot truly defeat you, not fully and not permanently. Because even when you're broken, listen to this, something inside you remains untouched: your true self, your core, some part of it that is whole, sacred, and indestructible. And over time, that part begins to lead you back to yourself. You heal, you learn, and grow, you rise. Narcissists know this. They know eventually that's going to happen. They feel it. That's why they often escalate when they sense you pulling away. That's their predatory intuition, or regaining your strength. That's why they launch revenge campaigns, stalk you, hoover, or try to sabotage your progress. Because deep down, they know they have lost control totally. They know they have failed to truly break you, and that is intolerable to them. They secretly hate your resilience. They hate your ability to rise from the ashes like a phoenix. They hate that after all efforts, they could not steal your essence. And the beautiful part is, the more you reclaim your power, the more powerless they feel. And that is one of the deepest hatreds they carry inside. They secretly hate how much they depend on you. They won't tell you this. This is the real paradox. Narcissists love to act superior. They want you to believe you need them. They want you to feel dependent on their approval, their attention, and love. But they depend on you far more than you ever have depended on them. You are their fuel. You are their lifeline. Without you, your affection, your emotional reactions or admiration, or your presence, in that case, they wither. When you go no contact, when you emotionally detach, when you stop playing their game, they feel it like a total withdrawal. It shakes them to their core, it terrifies them. At first, they respond with rage or contempt or panic. How dare you? You're replaceable. You will regret this. They move on, they get a new supply. But underneath the rage is deep helplessness. They secretly hate that their false self is built on such shaky ground. They hate they need a constant stream of validation to feel whole, and that too from you. They hate that someone like you, someone they thought they owned like a toy, can take that away. That's why they often come back. That's what hoovering, love bombing again, making promises, that is what it is all about. If you take them back, what do? They punish you because your leaving exposed their weaknesses. You proved that they are a failure. They hate needing you. They hate that you have power they cannot control. And that hatred is one of the reasons their relationships are so toxic and completely unstable. Number five, they secretly hate that they cannot forget you. Now, this one is something most survivors never realize. They think, oh, the narcissist has moved on, that's it. No. Narcissists work really hard to make it look like they have moved on, but that never happens. They discard you, replace you overnight, flaunt their new supply, post pictures, act as if you never existed. Yes, they do all of that. But behind that facade, something very different is happening that you're not able to see. Narcissists imprint on the people they have abused. You become a permanent part of their internal world, of the fantasy, because you saw them, you knew them, you touched parts of them they desperately tried to hide. And that makes you unforgettable. Now, they will twist the memory of you, right? They'll self gaslight, they will demonize you, blame you, tell themselves and others that you were the problem. But they will think of you over and over and over again. They will compare every new person to you. They will stalk your social media long after they have pretended to move on. They will mention you to others, often with bitterness. Because here is the truth, they cannot erase you. You were real. And realness is something they cannot manufacture or fully destroy. Your energy cannot be created or destroyed. And that haunts them. They secretly hate that no matter how many new people they cycle through, no matter how many lies they tell themselves, they cannot forget you. You are a living reminder of their failure, incomprehensible to them. You are a living reminder of their brokenness, their inability to truly connect. And that is a hatred they will carry for the rest of their lives. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. So, there you have it. 5 things narcissists secretly hate. Not surface annoyances, not passing dislikes, but deep existential hatreds that torment them behind the mask. And I want you to remember something really, really deep. If you have survived a narcissist, you already hold the key, the power they fear most. You are someone they cannot fully defeat and cannot ever forget. I proved that to you. Your happiness, your healing, light, these are your rebellion. These are your protection. So don't dim your light. Don't shrink to fit their comfort zone. Shine even brighter, brighter than ever. Live even freer. Because every time you do, you remind the narcissist of their greatest failure. And that is something they will secretly hate forever. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.